So
That's really
there's
good.
a lot of opportunity out there.
That's really good. Is the VA? Can people use their VA for investment property? I didn't know if that's the yay or nay. I mean, is that
So VA
possible?
is always going to be a primary.
That's right.
However, after a year, you can look to turn that into an investment property, whether you're holding on
Hmm,
to it or even refinancing it into a conventional property.
that's really good. Now, tell me about your loans for new construction, and who are those type of buyers that should be talking to you about that?
Yeah, so we actually have an in-house construction product. So we have a construction team here that handles, the entire, I guess, servicing of that construction loan. So
Mhm.
typically, a construction loan, we'll go into it. You can purchase land and acquire the
Mhm.
construction loan at the same time. It's called a construction to permanent or a CP
Mhm.
loan.
Mhm.
Um, Typically, we're looking for 10% down on that product. And like I said, you can acquire the land at the same time. Um, and then would work with a builder, just make sure we have, the draw schedule all set up, all of
Mhm.
that good stuff. And yeah, they would come up with their plans. We would do estimates and just make sure all the numbers work out.
Okay. Okay. So, who are some buyers who'd be looking to do new construction?
Typically, like I said, you want about 10% down. And
Okay.
then I would recommend having about 10% in reserves as well.
Okay.
Um, just based on qualification, and it's a little bit more um it's a more, I don't want to say difficult, but more tedious process than just going out and buying a home, since we're essentially adding a whole third party to the equation, which is the builder, and just getting their plans and everything in order. But there is a lot more qualification to it.
Yeah, people who buy new construction, that's usually not a first-time home buyer, right? That's usually more somebody more experienced. They're actually moving up. Is that correct?
Yeah, it typically is. It can be a first time home buyer if someone's very good with their finances, have saved up,
Mm-hmm.
have been
Mm-hmm.
renting,
Mm-hmm.
and just can't seem to find the property they're looking for in Hampton Roads, for example. They may
Mm-hmm.
look to build and create their own home.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's good to know. So, all right. What in those VA first-time home buyers, new construction? What problems do you solve for them, or what challenges do you foresee that when they start working with you, solve those things for them? What can you give us some idea of what that looks like?
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but I think the biggest problem with the housing industry in general is just lack of education.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so easy to get caught up in YouTube, TikToks, Instagram Reels, and all of this stuff of people maybe spitting misinformation, or maybe they're on the right track, but it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't necessarily apply to you. Um,
Ah.
so I think it's just important to find out, where you stand in your situation, and just looking to get educated on that from a local professional is the best way to go about it.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of misinformation on social media that's
Yeah, I
not
mean,
true.
even the everyone thinks you have to save up 20% for a down payment before you should even speak to a loan officer,
Okay.
which that's simply not true. Obviously,
Yeah.
as we spoke, the VA loan allows for 0% down, FHA 3.5%, conventional as low as 3%. So there's definitely some great options out there for loan down payment.
Yeah, it sounds like to me that what you're saying is that there's a lot of noise, somewhat true, not true, on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. But the bottom line, if they want to buy a house and they need to get a second opinion or at least know where they stand, they should come talk to you